All right, it is 5 o'clock. We will begin the meeting. Welcome, everyone. And I'm sure more will filter in as the night goes on because this is the big one. So, first, we will open it up to the floor if anybody has anything outside of the meat and potatoes tonight they'd wish to share.
Yes, I'm Bill Dillow with Ames Town and Gallen, and I would like to announce our coming up this Saturday, our musical homecoming concert, featuring 6 artists with ties to Ames High School and Iowa State University, and of course, CODA is generally helping to support this with a special project grant. It will be in Ames City Auditorium in honor of our 75th anniversary and recognizing that this building was the original Ames High School. It looks to be a great event. So public is invited. Adult tickets are available at our website or at the door, and K through 12 and university students are admitted free of charge.
Nice.
Thanks. Great.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right. We will move on to the approval of October's minutes. Did you both have a chance to look them over? Anything look out of line or anything?
It's okay with me.
Mhm.
It's good.
All right.
Move to accept.
We have
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. So approved. All right. Now, while everybody's here, the 2025-26 annual grant hearings, we will go through them in the order that I have it listed here. So we will begin tonight with the Ames Choral Society.
Good evening. I'm Steve Hoyfeld, and I'm in my 43rd year of directing the Ames Choral Society. And we have started our preparations for our 60th concert season. We are looking, well, we actually have 60 more members. We've ramped up our social outreach and updated our media, Facebook, website, and so on and so forth. And so we're very excited about the season. We're looking at, we have to kind of rebuild a little bit this year because we've had a lot of board member changes. Our accompanist retired. Our former treasurer retired a couple of years ago. And so there's been a little bit of catch up with that. But anyway, we're moving forward, and we have gone from 45 people last year to 60 this year, which is pretty incredible. A lot of newer people and younger people younger than I am. So anyway, we're very excited about all of this. I am really thankful for for the assistance that CODA has given to us through the years, as I'm sure the entire arts community is. So anyway, I don't know if you have any questions about our application.
Good. Congratulations on the member growth. That's awesome
Thanks.
to hear.
Yeah, well, I think that the social media and the website have really made a difference. We had a new website developed and photos taken in the past year and a half. So anyway, I think it's making a big difference.
I'm good.
Okay,
All right. Thank you very much, Steve.
Thank
you
you.
bet.
All right.
And I think I'll stay up here because I believe good company is the
You're the good
next.
company? Okay. Well, at least take a step back and then bring it forward. Yeah. All right.
Welcome, Steve.
Hi.
Well, thank you. I'm Steve Hoyfeld, and I direct Good Company, and we're in our 31st season. We are looking at, for next season, the big thing is that we are looking at doing a piece with a small orchestra. It's by a woman composer, Joan Shimko. We've done several of her works through the years. In fact, we have one scheduled for our December concert. And Let's see here. We've got, I think it's 22 singers or 24 singers. I have to figure out from the emails that go out. But anyway, this year we are doing a little outreach in the spring, inviting women to sing with us. Some women who we hope would be interested in becoming part of the group. So our CODA request for this season is to help offset the additional expenses of purchasing music for those singers and getting materials made for them to help prepare. But next season, we're looking at trying to do something, a major work. We've kind of been saving our nickels to be able to do this. So anyway, I don't know, our president, Ellen Rasmussen, is here. We also have updated our media outreach and our website. So anyway, those have been, for both groups, those have been bigger expenses than from the past, but we felt that it was important to move into the current century. So anyway.
Seems to be working.
Well, I hope so. So anyway, but I don't know if you have questions about our application.
Seemed pretty good.
Okay,
Good. All right.
good. Well, thank you very
Thank
much.
you again, Steve.
Thank you.
All right, we will move on to Central Iowa Symphony.
Good evening. I'm Don Withers on the board of Central Iowa Symphony. Perhaps the best way to explain what a season will be like that I really don't know what the conductor is going to come up with is this season's brochure.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks.
First of all, we really appreciate the support you give us as a community orchestra. This is your community orchestra. Mainly, it's centered around Ames, but also in central Iowa. Some points I'd like to bring out. Number one, we can put roughly 50 musicians on stage. This is very good for community orchestras because that means we can put on longer works and harder works. These 50 people I am in awe on because they start rehearsing about a month and a half beforehand, 6 rehearsals. They're expected to know their music at that time, the very first rehearsal, and they're supposed to learn the music on their own before they do that. A tremendous amount of commitment to just enjoy playing music together in an orchestral format. I think you could say they are really united in this grand effort. While they enjoy playing amongst themselves and learning the music, they really love an audience. That's half the reason for instrumental music is you want an audience. So we are trying to reach more people and different groups of people by social media. We are just beginning to get the hang of social media now. One of the advantages of being a community orchestra and getting your very generous support to us, kids and students are free. Also, we give complimentary tickets out there to adult education at Ollie, Osher Lifelong Learning Program out there. We get in roughly 100 of those tickets per year, and they are mainly older people. So we have quite a broad spread between young kids. Their parents are bringing them to a brand new experience, which they've never maybe had before, older people. And I suppose I just need to say, I am grateful to be on the board of this wonderful group of people. They play tremendous music. Whenever I'm at the rehearsals, I very rarely hear the mistakes that the conductor makes. And I believe we really are an asset to the local community in Ames. Do you have any questions? Like I said, I'm not sure what this 25-26 season will be because I probably won't know until next April.
Fair enough. Well, seem pretty put together. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hope to see you there.
Yeah.
All right. Ames Town and Gown. Making sure I don't skip someone.
So I'm Bill Dilla, treasurer of Ames Town and Gown. Town and Gown has two parts to its mission. One is presenting world-class artists or in a chamber music setting. So these are typically more intimate concerts with anywhere typically from 150 to 250 people in a smaller space. We have a combination of young rising artists, and in fact, by coincidence, this season is all young rising artists. But we also have experienced seasoned artists as well. As far as outreach, there's two prongs to that. Most of our outreach is to youth, whether it is in a K through 12 setting. So a few weeks ago, we had the Isidore Quartet here. They're an award-winning quartet who trained at Juilliard, and they were able to sit down with our 6th and 7th graders and just talk about amazing music and making music. It was amazing to see that interaction. We also occasionally, artists time allowing, have outreach for the community. So last year we had a lecture by Michelle Kahn on the musical legacies of phenomenal women of color. That was part of the ISU lecture series that opened to the general public. We certainly appreciate the support from CODA, and I attend meetings with the broader Chamber Music Committee, and there are very few communities that give this sort of support to the arts. And I will give a shout out to Brian that have an art support program that is this well run, so we appreciate it. In terms of our financial picture, we built up quite a surplus during COVID. We were one of the few performing arts organizations that was able to do that. And now we're trying to get back and spent some of that surplus. Now we're trying to get back to a steadier state, looking to see how we can, and what we're seeing is the revenues have returned to what they were before COVID, but expenses are higher. So we're trying to figure out ways to keep providing a quality programming and balance our budgets. And kind of a recurring theme, we're looking at things like more electronic media because it's less expensive than print media. So going forward, we certainly appreciate CODA's support in the past, and we look forward to it in the future. Organization has been bringing in world-renowned artists for 75 years, and we look forward to our support for our 76th season. Thank you.
Congratulations on your 3/4 century.
Yes, it's quite an achievement.
All right. Creative Artist Studios of Ames.
Excuse me, I'm Leanne Wilson, and I've been part of Creative Artist Studios from day one, which was 01/01/2001. And so we're celebrating 25 years in operation next January 1st of 2026. And we have, excuse me, under that time, we've grown quite a bit. And the last bit of growth you guys helped a lot with this past year by providing us some support last spring and then this year's spring. So we were able to add the Fiber Arts node. That's been doing well and developing some active members. And we've had two big events. We had a quilters workshop in July that the Quilting Guild organized in our space. Sounds like they're coming back. They liked the way it worked. And then we had an exhibit by a Nigerian artist who does batik textiles with beading. And it was a spectacular show. We had a good amount of people through. And so that was a very special event for us. So thank you for getting us where we are now. Now, as part of the process of starting the Fiber Arts node, we actually liberated another space. What I had been using as my studio was a 400 square foot room. And not many of our artists are looking for anything that big. But this room has an exhaust fan, good light, and enough space to serve as a classroom. So this for us is an addition of space that can be used for media that need ventilation, like batik an encaustic. We have an encaustic artist who likes to teach and provides a very valuable space for us. The problem is that these open spaces don't generally generate enough income to cover the rent. So what we're looking for help from CODA is partial support for a new classroom space. We usually cover the cost of our shared spaces and open spaces through the fees that artists pay for their semi-private and private spaces, but we can't make rapid hikes and we can't really increase the occupancy fraction because we're pretty much at 100%. So we need a little help with that flexibility. So that's what we're asking for this year, is help to make sure that we can cover the cost of operating a new classroom and get everything running there. So that explains item 1 in the budget. The other item is advertising. We have in the past found that most of our events don't generate enough income to cover the advertising costs. And so we've been very sparing on how we've used advertising, and just a little bit of extra does make a big difference in how far our reach goes. So those are the 2 items that we hope that CODA will support for us in the next year.
The teachers that you get, will they be compensated, or are they all volunteer teachers as well?
Most of them are volunteer teachers. Our members can get credit for, everyone, we're an all volunteer organization. Everyone's expected to put in 2 hours a month in some distribution over the course of every 6 months. And they can get credit for teaching if they don't charge a fee, or they can charge a fee and not get volunteer credit. So they have a choice of how to do it.
So it's up to the teacher.
It's up to the teacher. One of the main philosophies of CASA is that it should be as much as possible the artist's space, and the decision should be whenever possible with the artist. So if you screw up and don't charge enough and don't get enough income, sorry. Charge too much and nobody signs up, too bad.
Yep, fair enough. All right. Any other questions?
I might make one other comment. With COVID, we kind of leveled out in our membership, and a lot of our members have been with us from the beginning. But in the last year, we have gotten a whole lot of new members. We have very active members who are younger than I am, younger than my children, not younger than my grandchildren. And the leadership positions are gradually getting occupied by new blood. I would have had Nathan Moore with us. He's our president, but he's recovering from surgery, and so he wasn't able to be here.
All right. Thank you very much. Ames Youth Choir.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay, so my apologies. Our operations manager had a last minute conflict. So I am the treasurer. I understand the numbers and I know what we do. So the youth choir has been very thankful for CODA funds in the past, especially these years after COVID as we had to rebuild. We are using funds this year to do some rebranding. Last year, we picked a new name and a new logo. We're trying to be a little bit more inclusive by calling ourselves youth rather than we used to be the children's choir. I think that youth is a little more appealing to the older kids that we serve. We do a lot of things in the community. We host a talent show for any Ames K through 12 student that wants to compete. We go to the retirement homes. We do some collaborative work with other groups. And we're just looking to continue to, we've seen our numbers start to come back. It's been really exciting, especially this year. We've had some new, several new families join, and our numbers are starting to creep back up. So that's good. That will be helpful. We're going to continue rebranding efforts as we have to do kind of some of the back end stuff like the updating our website. And this year, the exciting thing was getting better, more inclusive or more neutral apparel for our performances. So I think that's also a good thing.
Perfect. I'm liking this theme of, people coming back. It seems, it's kind of
Yeah. And we are reintroducing touring. That was something that we haven't been able to do since COVID. This it's actually starting up this year. This summer, we are going to be taking our concert choir students to Denver to the Mile High Festival there. So that's really exciting to get that back again. And I think that will also be a good recruitment tool for the choir moving forward now that that's started up again.
I had a question. How do you see your program integrating with, say, the school choirs, like, say, the middle school, high school?
So this past summer, we started a new fundraiser, which we're hoping to continue, called Showstoppers. We did that in coordination with the Ames High choir director. So it's kind of a dual fundraiser. And it brought in this, she's this very energetic and charismatic show choir instructor who comes and does a week-long camp. And then there's a big performance at the end. In addition, we have a member on our board that is involved in the middle school. She's an instructor there. And we have our two younger choirs. Choral director is actually a choir teacher at Fellows. So there is some integration, and we try to do some things with the school. We participate in the MLK performance that is orchestrated, I believe, by one of the Ames directors.
And then do you incorporate other students, like, say, homeschool?
Yes, we do have some homeschool choir members. We also have, we're not just Ames, we have some regional students come and join us as well. And then we alternate years. One year we do the Midwest Children's Choir Festival, and that draws quite a few junior high choirs from a fair distance in the state. And then the Celebrate Singing one is also a regional festival that we invite all the schools in the area to participate in.
Very inclusive.
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
In the past, there were international trips. Are those on the drawing board for the?
It is not off the books, but we have to get our numbers and our financing back just in a little bit stronger position before that happens. But that would be, the next step. But we're happy to get the national tour back, and hopefully we'll get a few of those under our belt, and then maybe international will come.
My daughter still talks about a trip she took 20 years ago.
Lovely.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Friends of Ames Strings.
Hello, I'm Matthew Gresh, and I'm here to represent Friends of Ames Strings. This will be our 36th year in 2025 with the Friends of Ames Strings program, and we've benefited greatly, of course, from money from CODA. We serve primarily Ames community kids from 4th through 8th grades. We provide a 2-week, 10-day, 3 hours a day program in the summer, which is designed to help orchestra players in the Ames schools bridge the gap from school year to school year. One thing that's pretty well known in school programming is that when the kids come back in August after a 3-month gap, not all of them have practiced through the whole summer, right? So we're trying to provide for children who don't take private lessons otherwise so that they can bridge that gap and start off the new year strong. And we've had great success lately. We capped the number of kids at 80 for a while because we just didn't have the space and the instructors. And then last year we were able to kind of solidify our base of instructors, and we had 98 last year. And we would actually anticipate having more than that in the next couple of years because the middle school strings program in Ames is so strong right now. I know there's about 200 kids in middle school strings. So we anticipate having more than 98, and we'd like to not turn anybody away. So we're looking to do a couple of things in the next year, maybe looking at new space for our organization to use for those 2 weeks. We switched our performance space this year. We offer 2 community concerts that are free to the public at the end of the 2-week program. There's 2 different groups that play. There's the sort of introductory group and the advanced group, and they play separately and then they play together. But we offer 2 concerts, and we moved actually this year to the auditorium here at City Hall because we just simply had too much. We had outgrown our previous space, so that's a good problem to have. And then this year our revenues were decent last year. We bumped up our price a little bit, but we're still extraordinarily inexpensive for what the kids are getting. So we'd like to offer another opportunity this year that we haven't offered before, and that's a series of private lessons that the students could take after the strings camp. Private lessons in Ames are anywhere from $50 to $80 an hour, and a lot of families simply can't afford that. So what we've decided to do, we sort of did a pilot program last summer. It worked really well, and we'd like to expand it this year, is have some of the more advanced students from Ames High School help us with these private lessons. And it gives them an opportunity for leadership and teaching experience, and it gives the younger kids the opportunity to take private lessons with an advanced player at an extraordinarily inexpensive rate. So the way we worked it last year is the students' parents would pay the fee, and then we paid, as an organization, paid the rent for the space that we used, so that it wasn't in a private home. We wanted to have it in a public setting. So the other part of our CODA grant this year would be to help us pay for that space rental for the lessons to happen. Because we anticipate strong demand, so we'd like to have that ability this year. So and that provided leadership opportunity for 16 high school students this year. So yeah, so numbers are doing really well. We just want to make sure we keep growing. So that's what we're looking to do.
Good ideas.
Yeah, thanks for the details.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Octagon.
Good evening. My name is Heather Johnson with the Octagon Center for the Arts, and we're happy to say that our nonprofit community arts center is now in its 58th year of offering art-related classes, workshops, events. So it's been a great year. One of the biggest things that's new to our building is through an arts grant, through the Capital Arts Grant Project, is we now have 6 emerging artists using our co-working space for studio. Some of that came about because the College of Design was short on studio space. And so we partnered with them to offer space that they can use to create some of their own work. And then also we have another new artist that has joined in as well from the public. And of the 5 private studios, we have 4 filled as the end of October, of last week. So that's been great to be able to offer the affordable space for artists, because we've heard of some having to go to Des Moines or even Minneapolis to find affordable studio space that'll support artists. Another new thing too is just even today, we've hosted another no school art camp for kids, elementary to middle school. And I think that's the 3rd one so far this year, just this fall. And we've been working around calendars for Ames and Gilbert. And so far they have been filled, and they go pretty fast. So we're trying to work with the schools and see what we can do to offer hands-on art programming. And that's 6 hours during the no school day too. So that's been a really neat program that we've been able to offer. Hopefully you were able to see our art festival this last September, our 53rd year offering that. We were able to host, I think, 7 different arts-related groups at the festival for free to help promote what they can offer to our residents too. So that was great to be able to provide them a space at no cost. We also will continue our music on the patio, party on the patio. We used our old alleyway to have monthly summer live music. It's a good way for people just to stop by, talk, get to see the Octagon sketch. And so that's been a really fun program too in the community. Now that the Building 64 is open, we're hoping to collaborate with them for some hands-on art projects as well on an ongoing rotation. We've had really good programs in the past with youth, especially with Boys and Girls Club, YSS. And so now we've been asked over the last year about more senior-related programs as well. So we're excited that the new facility is open, and we hope to bring art to them as well, other people that may not be able to come to the Octagon, whether it's transportation or just accessibility. So we're trying to bring it to them as well. We offer about 12 different exhibits the year, and those are on a rotation basis. And our shop offers artwork about 175 artists that have some sort of relationship with the central Iowa area too. So that's one way that we can help promote artists that may not have a business background to kind of promote their own wares. So we're keeping busy at our facility, and we look forward to offering more programs. I just want to thank CODA so much for the continued support that we could not do with other funding sources kind of being depleted. So thank you so much. And if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer any.
I just want to know how you always arrange for good weather for.
We have worked with the Iowa State Weather Department, and we did our homework. We've lucked out, and a lot of it's because that fourth Sunday is one of the driest Sundays of the entire year. So we do our homework.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
I lost my place. Okay. Dancer Company Foundation.
Hi, I'm Molly Neal Wong. This is Melissa Allman. I'm the president of the Dancer Company Foundation, and Melissa is the treasurer.
Hi, everyone. The DDCF is a nonprofit charitable arts organization dedicated to providing volunteer and financial support for the education, development, and advancement of dancers while enriching our community through the art of dance. CODA funds are requested for costumes, props, miscellaneous supplies, and the rental of a local auditorium for the Dance Center Dancer Company Showcase and the pre-show to prepare for Showcase. The performance is open and free to all. It's approximately 3 hours, and it consists of 36 performers ages 5 through 18 and members of the Ames community who intensively study dance. Many volunteers help put this on, including parent volunteers. The DD Showcase is an opportunity for all citizens of Ames to attend a premier dance performance free of charge. We're grateful to CODA for all the support for the past many years.
Good. They summed it up
Any
so
questions?
great.
Okay.
No questions.
Thank you
Thanks
very much again. Appreciate it.
Go ahead. Senior Variety Show. 10 minutes ahead.
Good evening.
Hello.
I'm Jeanette Abrams with the Senior Variety Show. I went ahead and wrote everything down because I can get a little long-winded. So, we've been celebrating the seniors in Story County since 1995 through a venue to showcase the variety of talents they possess. Our most recent show highlighted a 94-year-old tap dancer and a 93-year-old crooner. So they were exceptional. In addition to reminding the community of the valuable contribution of seniors and providing a sense of connection for seniors to the community, the Senior Variety Show raises money for important senior projects in the community. Through the years, we have raised over $230,000 for these senior projects. The ability to reach out and support senior peers provides a great sense of satisfaction for the performers, workers, sponsors, and audience. We appreciate the support of CODA. In the past, as your grants have help to cover the cost of renting the city auditorium and some of our advertising. As the cost of renting the auditorium continues to go up, your assistance is valued even more. Without it, our funding for advertising and senior projects would be greatly diminished. We take pride in the way the Senior Variety Show supports seniors in Story County with a great emphasis within the city of Ames. We look forward to your continued partnership, and thank you very much for all your support in the past. Are there any questions has anybody made it there yet? Made it to the show yet?
Oh, I thought you were asking if we're old enough to participate.
I'm not even old enough to participate.
I'll look at you.
Yeah, come on down.
Give me a few years. I know. No, I've known quite a few who have.
I've not made it.
Yeah, it's a really, really good show, and it's heartwarming. Just the excitement that the seniors bring to it, and then it's completely volunteer run. We don't have any paid staff, so it's a year-round effort to put the show on. There's almost as many volunteers as there are participants. Last year we had about 80 participants and 70 volunteers. So to make it run, that's just for the show itself. That doesn't count people going out throughout the year to get sponsors and get places to advertise and things like that. So it is a community effort for sure.
Sure. Questions?
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ames Community Art Council.
Hello, I'm Jen Brockpaller. I'm the director of the Ames Community Arts Council, and most of you are familiar, but the Arts Council is an umbrella organization that exists in Ames to support artists, arts organizations, and the folks that want to enjoy the arts in our community. To that end, we have a number of events. We do wide promotion through our newsletter, website, and calendar. We have the Ames Area Studio Tour in the fall, the Arts Awards in the spring. We offer arts and education grants for folks who need a little boost for the arts programming that they want to do for others in the community. We are involved with the Business of Arts Conference, which is a great partnership with the Octagon Center for the Arts. This year, just yesterday, or Saturday, we did a new program called Empty Bowls, which we partnered with some ceramic artists in the city, and they threw 141 bowls, and we sold them for $25 a piece, and then had a soup supper, and you enjoyed the soup in the homemade bowl. So we made over $3,500, which will then be given to Backpack Buddies, which is a program from Gilbert Community School that provides food for food insecure kids and after schools, weekends, holidays, that sort of thing. Brand new thing, wasn't sure how it was going to go, smashing success. So that was a lot of fun. We also, as everyone's been saying, COVID is sort of lifting, and we've reinstated our gathering of artists. So we do those every month. Our next one will be November 19th at the Ames Writers Collective's new space, which is on 5th Street, I think. I'm not sure. But we're going to premiere and be a soft opening for a new arts organization in town. Then we do the Music on the Move, which is the thing that CODA helped fund during the height of COVID, where we bring musicians into the community. And finally, World Collage Day in May, which will be hosted at the Ames Public Library again this year. Last year, we had 50 participants. We provide all of the material, a little bit of instruction, and some background on what collage is. And it allows us to be a part of this international celebration. And it has been a really fulfilling event that we have done. This will be our third. So we're excited about that. So yeah, that's what we do. I'm the one paid employee at 20 hours a week. I've got a wonderful board that steps up and makes all of this possible. And we could not do it without the support of CODA, both financially and kind of emotionally once in a while. So thank you for all that you do in the community to make the arts feel important and welcome. Does anyone have any questions about my application, our application?
Application looks good. I'm glad that bowl thing
It was super
really took off.
cool.
It sounds fun.
Yeah. We're only going to be limited by the number of bowls we can throw.
Fair enough. Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ames International Orchestra Festival Association. Gotta make sure I got all those words. Has an acronym. It does, but it's fun to say it all.
Good evening. I'm Jerry Prescott, and I am president of the Ames International Orchestra Festival Association. First of all, I want to thank you for the past support that you have given to IOFA. We certainly appreciate that. The CODA funding has been very important in bringing international folk orchestras to Ames and the surrounding communities. This grant can also help us offer students discounts for tickets, so they are able to participate in seeing and hearing orchestras. We are really fortunate here in Ames to have an international orchestra that is able to come. I think we're the only venue in Iowa that is able to offer this. And we're probably the smallest of any that comes to the United States. So I think we're very fortunate. IOFA is working to secure one of the following international orchestras for the 2025-26 season. It'll either be the Vienna Festival Orchestra or the Orchestre National de France. Our mission is to promote and facilitate live performances of orchestral music ensembles, and to foster awareness of the value of classical music. Classical music, I think, is unique. It's a way to communicate with the wide range of emotions and images to listeners, and it's our promotion of classical orchestral music is also a means of building understanding, I think, between different cultures and also friendships among people. Our board is made up of 11 people, and we try to have a variety of people who come from different areas of the Ames community. We have a member who's on the Iowa State music faculty, a student representative from Iowa State, and there are two band directors, the Ames band director and also the Ballard band director is on our board. We have a member of the board of KHOI, so we're able to do some advertising and share some interests with them. And we have a member who is in the Central Iowa Symphony. There's another member, I think, who has been a leader in the Opera Guild, that the Ames branch or Ames Guild of the Des Moines Metro Opera. So I think we're trying to reach out into the community to find other musical interests and hoping that those people then will want to come to see the orchestras that we are promoting. Our board's goal is to increase concert attendance through educational and engagement activities for individuals of all ages. There's been a breakdown of concert attendance since 2015. We have, it goes 18 to 24, we have about 11% of, is in that group. 17% are 25 to 34, 23% 35 to 54, and then 33% are about a third are over 55. We'd like to get younger people involved. You know, there are some of us old folk who love classical music, but we'd like to be able to get some younger people. CODA funding is used to underwrite artist fees, outreach activities, and special discounts for youth, students, and those who might otherwise not be able to attend a classical music concert. Again, I want to thank you for the previous support that you have given us and also for the opportunity to speak to you tonight. Do you have any questions?
I'm curious, you brought up trying to target a little more younger audience. Do you have thoughts or plans put into motion or getting there to try and reach the younger crowds?
Well, that's one of the reasons, the two band directors, because we're thinking they're in the high schools at Ames and Ballard. And they also have lists of all band directors in this area, so they're able to contact them. And then the student representative at Iowa State, we are trying to use him to do more awareness on campus to get more students. I have a meeting tomorrow morning with the representative from the music department and seeing how we can coordinate more with the faculty there and see if we can get more students to come to the concerts.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good to hear. Anything else? No. All right. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Good. We are holding about 15 minutes early. Wow. So, actors. I see one face from actors. See, that's
What a face it is.
the one face it is.
That's right. And most people know my face. What can I say? I'm Stan Raybane with the Ames Community Theater, and Actors is now entering its 69th season. And what truly sets, I think, Actors apart from a lot of other community theaters is it is truly a community of people that get together, that build community, that become friends, that support each other, it's a very welcoming organization, and we do shows. So it's a wonderful way, if you're new in town, and I know that I've lived around in various places throughout the world, and I always look for the theater in terms of a great way of meeting people and becoming part of the community. An example is when we did Sister Act in June, the age range of our cast was 16 to 88. So we had a 72-year age range. The show before that was Farnsworth Invention. The age range was 16 to 75. So a 59-year age range. So it's a great way of getting people from all ages together to do shows and to get to know each other and to build community. Actors does 5 shows a year. We are all volunteer. We pay no one, all the way from the people that direct and produce down to the people that clean the bathrooms and vacuum the carpeting so that we're ready for our audiences. Because we are all volunteer, we don't charge anyone to be in a show, and we've been able to manage ticket prices. We've been very good stewards of the money that we get, not only from CODA, for which we're truly appreciative, but also from the other granting organizations. And we are very active in applying for grants from Prairie Meadows, Story County Community Foundation, Discover Ames, the Boutine Grant to the Iowa Community Theater Association, and any of the others that we become aware of, because theater is expensive, even though we have mastered low-cost theater for the community of Ames. Our 5 shows, we don't know next year yet because we're so far out, but we're looking for operational money to keep the building open and keep things going. The building has also Actors has been a good asset for Ames. The building has also been a very good asset for the city of Ames. We regularly host Chamber of Commerce and Story County Community Foundation, and we've got the polls in there tomorrow. So, it's a good resource for the community. What would you like to know?
I guess when I was looking at your, liabilities part of your statement, I noted that there was quite an increase in terms of the rent, utilities, in terms of maintenance on the building itself. Could you speak to that a little bit?
Yes, we recently added on to the building, and that added about 20% to the facility itself. So that's one of the reasons why our utilities and maintenance has gone up. The other thing is because the building is so much bigger, the entryway is bigger than it was. We are able to host more things which require more utilities. For instance, as a polling place, it just uses more. And so therefore that cost has gone up. The other thing is Actors has been around for 69 years. We are looking at replacing, for instance, furnaces next year. And so all that is just maintenance costs that happens. Okay?
Yeah.
What else?
So your new front has really been an asset to the building. I've seen, it looks pretty.
Thank you.
But
And you look pretty.
Well, that's not going to get you extra cash.
Okay, I gotta try.
Nice try though. So you've been, I think you kind of hinted at it. You've been using that space to open up more to the community and host, non-show events and that.
We've done Broadway karaoke nights in the front in the new area, and it's live karaoke, with pianos and small combo, so you get to sing with a live group. We've been doing improv classes in the front. We have done dance classes in the front. I'm trying to think, we're looking at another set of improv classes. So we do so much more. We even did a little experiment. We had a couple of Iowa State students who had just graduated from theater, and they said, we've never had to put on a show. We've never had to put on a show. And so we put them in charge of doing a show, and we did it in the new lobby area because it was big enough to host an audience of about 40 people. And the lighting was a little crude. We were hanging it off of light ladders, but we could do things that we couldn't do before. The old space was like a cave. And the new space is so much more inviting and so much more welcoming. It's also big enough that we can run 2 full rehearsals at the same time because the new lounge lobby area is the same size as our stage. So we can be doing 2 completely different things at the same time, which we couldn't do before.
Excellent. All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Stan.
By the way, I have to show you how important it is that we are amateurs. I made a buttonhole. That was a big accomplishment.
Stan, we all know that the pantsuit was your big accomplishment.
It was.
All right. Kids commotion. Okay. We're still
I'm not Valerie. I will start. I am speaking some of her words, some of my words. So how do you get from an idea to a dance? That is the question that's asked every day in Kids Commotion. Kids Commotion is expanding the world of creative possibility for young people. Good evening, I'm Gretchen Schaefer, and I'm representing Kids Commotion. Kids Commotion was formed in 1989 to make sure that children ages 8 to 18 in Ames could have a dance experience in which they learned more than dance steps. They learned to create dances. They learned to use words to discuss dance. They learned how to design space and time and effort to tell a story. In 2025, Dreams will be the organizing theme. Each year, Kids Commotion creates dances around a theme, such as voyages, weather, or insects. Through the creation process, those dances are critiqued by their peers and by professionals and are honed to a finish. They are costumed, lit, and put on a stage to share with an audience. The children learn to collaborate, to negotiate, and to tolerate other opinions. Kids Commotion meets 5 days a week for 3 weeks, then performs on Friday and Saturday of the last weekend. They start each day with an hour-long dance technique class, learning movement vocabulary, using their muscles in different ways, getting stronger, more flexible, and better coordinated. In the next hour, They have composition class where they learn to connect ideas with expression. Then they eat lunch, and after lunch, they rehearse dances they will learn from Valerie as well as their own finished dances. As I said, this next year, dreams will be the theme. Valerie comes with about 20 ways to approach that theme, and then the kids further edit those ideas until they end up with about 7 or 8 specific ideas, which will be developed into dances to make up the performance. For instance, in a previous year, the theme was bubbles. Some of the headings that resulted from that theme were social bubbles, spheres as shapes, the physics of bubbles, how and why bubbles work, thought bubbles, being bubbly, bubble gum, and iridescence. The funding received from CODA supports hiring an assistant, a lighting designer and stage manager, as well as production needs such as costumes and props, rehearsal and performing spaces, and operating expenses for marketing, printing, and office supplies. Those monies help us keep costs down so that more families are able to participate regardless of income. We so appreciate CODA and what CODA's monies do for the cultural life of Ames. Any questions?
I think you pretty much covered it.
Yeah.
Sounds
Thank you very much.
It is. Thank you.
Story Theater Company.
Evening, I'm Sue Ann Peters with Story Theater Company. Here tonight just to talk to you a little bit about Story Theater Company, a children's theater in Ames. We have kids 5 years old all the way up to 18. We do some school year programming. We do some workshops. We do summer workshops, and we do productions throughout the year as well. We have pretty much the same ideas as before, so I'm not going to try to present all new ideas, right? We still are going forward with lots of kids wanting to get involved and trying to help provide other outlets and other education opportunities when not everyone can be in all the shows, and trying to have a lot of more performance opportunities for kids, even if they're shorter term or a few weeks long, and then they can perform at the end. We have a couple hundred kids in the summer that participate. We have a couple hundred kids that participate in the school year in performances and workshops as well. And so we're really grateful for everyone keeps saying it, but the support of CODA. And we are also heavily volunteer run and heavily volunteer based with a couple part-time staff, and appreciate grant funding, and actors kind of talked about some of the various grants and things, and we are actively pursuing those things as well, and working on producing shows. And we're grateful that a lot of the support money helps us with renting things like the auditorium, which is really hard if you're already renting space to do practices and do programming. Those extra venues are so key to kids' experiences, to be able to get on a stage, to be able to be in front of bigger audiences, but we have to rent them to be able to do them. So we're excited for a new season. We haven't chosen it yet, and we're excited to provide more education to kids. And there seems to be a lot of grade school age kids with enthusiasm for theater and the arts, and it's very encouraging hearing all these different groups of all the different art opportunities and names as well. So you have a great night because you get to hear everybody talking about all the great things and names in the arts. Do you have any questions about our application?
I think it's pretty solid.
I think we had talked earlier about often you find something available after you've already put it in that's a little bit more expensive.
Sure.
You initially planned. Hopefully you've built that into this budget.
Yep,
A little bit more.
the best that we can.
Yeah.
We do. We don't know sometimes the wrenches and costs that come directions, but yes, we try to just keep in. That's a lot of the increases in the budget are just saying, okay, we know it's been a couple of years of things keep going up, and we're just building in a higher percentage of cost that everything goes up. And we have the same challenges as other people. We've been even paying artists to come and help or work at things, that goes up as well. And that's challenging. So yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
KHOI. Okay. I saw her up there.
Hello, I'm Lynn Carey with KHOI Community Radio, and I'll add my thanks to CODA for the support in past years. We certainly appreciate you being a partner in what we try to achieve in the community, and that is celebrating all of the wonderful things that are happening here through community radio. Our mission is building community through grassroots communication. And when I was at the library, I always would say that the community gets the kind of library it deserves. And I would say that about community radio too. Ames gets the community radio that it deserves. It's what the community puts into it is what comes back out. And we appreciate your support of all of that. I think I mentioned this last year too, when I look around the room and hear everyone tonight. I think almost everybody in here has been on KHOI, and their events have been celebrated on KHOI. And isn't that neat that we work so closely together to just make a much more vibrant, wonderful community? I just wanted to point out a little bit of what we're doing. We're on 24/7. About 60% of our programming is borrowed from other community radio stations, and we do the same. We provide programming for other community radios, but about 40% of it is produced here locally by local people. And that's magical. It's all done by volunteers, the production part. We do have a couple of staff people who are managing the technical side, but everything else is what the community wants to put into it. We provide access to the airwaves, obviously, and to podcasts. We do training for hosts, producers, volunteers, everyone that it takes to have a great community radio station. We provide training for tech support too. And then we provide a venue for events. We have lectures, author events, films, concerts, and meetings. And meetings has been kind of a new thing for us. And sometimes there's a combination of those things. Like a couple weeks ago, we had the League of Women Voters Book Club meet at KHOI and show a film. So it's kind of neat when all of those things come together. We also have been able, through grant funding, to start doing more remote broadcasting and recording for later broadcasting. For example, this summer, we broadcast almost all of the Roosevelt Summer Sundays concerts. And later this week, we'll be at the Story County Community Foundation Grants Awards ceremony, and the Business After Hours will be broadcasting from there and recording people's stories and things that they're interested in. So those kinds of things are very fun. We also are doing some co-productions at larger venues, such as Stevens Auditorium, the City Auditorium, and the Goldfinch concerts. And a lot of what I just mentioned has been supported by past CODA funding, and you'll see in our current application that a lot of what we're asking for will go toward those types of things. So I'll stop now and answer any questions.
Seems like you've really expanded since you changed buildings.
We certainly have. It's been a great move for us, and got a chance to see the new History Museum and the use of our old space. And I think both organizations greatly benefited from us moving down the road.
Excellent.
Anything else?
I mean, I personally know you did a good job. You do stuff because, you even kept somebody who's moved to Ohio.
That's true. We have a regular host in Ohio, and we have a regular host who lives in Fresno. He does his thing at 7 in the morning, which means 5 in the morning for him. That's how dedicated people are to community radio.
Thanks. Okay. No, that's great to hear that it's not just in Ames specifically. So.
And we have worked really hard to get out into other communities in our broadcast world and just kind of expand what community means. So.
Excellent.
Anything else?
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
About 15 is worldly goods. Okay. We're running about 15 minutes ahead of schedule, so.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Manu Agnihotri, and I am the director of Worldly Goods. It's a non-traditional nonprofit, and we are fully committed to bridge intercultural gap by bringing work of artisans from over 50 countries in the world. We represent social sustainability in the community by just promoting that social justice for the artisans that we bring the artwork from. We have been around since 1987, so we are almost going to the 40 years anniversary. And I think this is our first time for the operational support grant. I know in the past we have had some special project grants, but I took over as a director in January. And since then, I've been trying to promote the mission of fair trade through different events, participating in all community events possible, and even like bridging the gap between students at ISU campus and the Main Street businesses. So any opportunity I get to go on campus to talk about the fair trade mission that Worldly Goods promotes, I try to do that. And in addition to that, we are also mostly volunteer-run program. I am the only full-time staff, and we have 2 other part-time staff members. And other than that, we have 10 volunteers. 6 of the board members, and then 4 regular volunteers who come every day of the week to help us run the daily operations at the store. What else can I say? So that's what I said. We are a very non-traditional nonprofit. So our funds do not come from the donations or memberships. We sell it's mostly a retail store. But over the time and post-pandemic, these sales, like fixed costs are fixed, but materials cost and are going up, and our retails are not as promising as they used to be. So I just found out about the quota grant, and I was hoping if I could get any operational support. And I am also trying to expand our marketing strategies so that we can reach out to the bigger community in Ames. And for that, I would want to expand our website and social media promotions, and all that requires funding. So, and I noticed a typo on page 7 of the financials. It was like the 2020 and 21 actual budget, there was an extra 0. 2. I would really like to have that, but we don't, unfortunately.
Fair enough.
So yeah, that's what we do here in Ames community. Just trying our best to bring different arts from different artisans and supporting them in a bigger way. That's our main goal through fair trade. Any questions?
Well, you said this is your first time
Yes.
for
the
an
operational.
annual, an operational
Yes.
grant. Okay. And you've done, I didn't see any past, you'd mentioned that you'd reached out for special grants in the past.
I took over in this January, so
Okay.
I think it's way earlier, 2016, 2014. We have received the special project grants from CODA.
So it has been quite a while.
Yes.
They used to do programming with the Arts Council occasionally.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We used to do things, Jennifer.
Those grants.
Well, welcome back anyway.
Oh, thank you.
Or
Yes.
welcome
So good,
as new, since you
good
just
to
started
be
this
here.
year.
I know so many faces, and it's just a wonderful community to work with, for sure.
Okay. No question? All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity, and hope to see you all again next year. You all have a good night.
You as well. India Cultural Association?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shivani Chaudhary, and I'm a representative for India Cultural Association of Central Iowa. We are a nonprofit organization, and we have been here for 30 plus years. And first of all, we are thankful to COTA for providing us grant almost every year when we have applied. The money that we receive from COTA goes towards the operational cost of various type of events that we organize, which vary from social, cultural to educational events. Many of our events are very popular among Ames community, not only the Indian community, but also other folks from the surrounding communities. They come in and they get exposed to Indian culture. They enjoy the food, the festivities, and music and art. That is part of almost all the events. One of the most popular event that we have on repeat every year is a talent night. So we give opportunity to various members of the community to come in and perform and showcase their talent. Again, we get a good attendance in those events, which are enjoyed by everyone. Other than that, we had a very successful cricket tournament, which was attended by folks from different countries. And it was a very enjoyable event. Kids got introduced to cricket. There was a boot camp that was organized to get kids more interested in cricket. I know it's a football country, which is good, but we love cricket. I'm sorry, we do. Yeah, so like kids, they were really eager for it, and COTA grants money was used towards the getting them geared towards and paying for the boot camp. Other than that, we are planning to organize many of the fun events this year as well, which includes a holiday party, which is coming up. There's a membership drive, which is being organized in Alluvial. And again, the money will be used towards the venue, food, and those sort of things. We almost every year have a celebrity event. So we ask somebody from back home in India to come in and perform. It could be like a musical event. Last year we had a very famous vocal and tabla artist. It's an instrument-based event, and again, it was enjoyed by everyone. So these are the type of events we organize. Last year, we also wanted to involve kids. So we got them associated with the sustainability initiative, and we want to continue something like that so that the kids also know how to give back to community and get involved with our culture, as you all understand. For us immigrants, it's important to connect to our roots, and also our organization works hard to foster diversity and introduce everybody whosoever is interested to our culture. So that's the idea, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
I was noting on your expenditures in that you had some monies, 11,000 for honoraria. You had mentioned about bringing an artist from India.
Yeah.
What would that have been?
Yeah, because yes, depending on the celebrity, how famous they are, that event is one of the most costliest, because the artists have their fee, then they have to fly in, then they have to be provided with accommodation, food, and those sort of things. So yes, that is what I would say is one of the most expensive event. But as I said, it keeps us in touch. And plus, when we have an artist, people get interested, even kids get interested, and that helps us introduce our culture to future generations of Americans that we have here. Yeah.
Excellent. I'm going to have to get down there and watch a cricket match.
Absolutely. It is fun.
Yeah.
Well, just FYI, no experience required. We can just come in and have fun. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Ames Chamber Artists. Okay.
Good evening. I'm Larry Gleason. I'm the Development Director for the Ames Chamber Artists. First, I want to thank you all for the support you've given us in the past years. I think especially since the pandemic, as the choir grew and we had additional costs related to just supporting the number of singers that we now have. And by the way, we are looking for more basses and tenors still. We're a little low on that, so. But in addition to the growth of the choir, I think the diversity in our programming now under Dr. Rogers has been just really interesting. And if I had more foresight, I would have brought more copies of this, but we started doing these at the beginning of our season, just as soon as we know what our program is going to be, doing these bookmarks, and we had them at the Octagon Art Fair on the ACAC table. And so we use these to promote our season before we actually get our other publications and things out there. But again, the CODA grant helps us with things like this. I'll pass this. You can have this to pass around. I didn't bring enough for everybody. But I'll summarize some of that special programming. In December, we're going to be doing a collaboration with the Indigo Monks. It'll be a tuneful, holiday, jazzy or type of presentation than our typical holiday concert. And then we're doing another joint venture for our May concert, which you'll see on there. And of course, these all, when you're talking about honorarium, and that part of our budget is also for paying for musicians and the things that we need. Additional music is another thing, part of the budget that has grown each year as we've expanded our repertoire. So we really do appreciate all of that you provided for us. So I think with that, I'll keep you moving ahead of schedule if you would like, and just ask me questions.
Do you guys happen to have an endowment at all?
We do not. I have been, in fact, Valerie and I just set up our own donor advised fund through the Story County Community Foundation. I've been talking to Daryl there, and I'm going to have him come to the board meetings and present some things on that for future funding, that type of thing. I had hoped to get on that a little bit more, and I did bring it up to the board in the May or June meeting. I can't remember, but we had to table it because we had too many other things to deal with. So, but I do plan to have him make a presentation to the board and see if we can move some of that forward. We do continue to sell advertising and publish our own programs, and we've had a pretty loyal, well, speaking of, I just replaced one. We had one drop this year, but I replaced it with the Story County Community Foundation. They bought a half-page ad. So we continue to use that to support our publications and things as well as our regular fundraising.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Ames chapter of the Des Moines Metro Opera. Do we have them? Yes.
Good evening. You were a little early.
We're running a little ahead of schedule.
I'm Vern Ketchum of the Ames chapter of the Des Moines Metro Opera Guild. My wife Kathy and I are co-presidents. We and Jane, our membership chair, are here tonight to convey to you just how important the shuttle bus service is to many opera fans in Ames. So, but first of all, wanted to thank you for your support in past years for this thing. It makes the Opera Festival more accessible to Ames community, and not just our members. There are people from Des Moines as well, and others who can benefit from the shuttle service to the Indianola. Includes students of any educational level. They can ride for free. They still have to buy tickets, but they can ride the bus for free. We believe that we need to do everything that we can to encourage interest and attendance in opera. And we think this is one important thing. The opera company performs to a full house most of the time, 467 seats, I think it is. And it's at the Blank Theater. And we want to help continue that effort, that record. The critical acclaim following the 2024 season and the nomination of the DMMO Summer Opera Festival for International Honors. The only company in the US nominated, actually. But it illustrates the quality of the opera productions that they do down there. And it's why it deserves our support and our respect. The MMO has again written a grant request for the buses to Indianola for next year's opera season. And we must stress our dependence on the grant to help fund a significant portion of the shuttle bus service from Ames and through Des Moines during the 2025 Summer Opera Festival. Many opera fans in Ames and Des Moines cannot drive or choose not to drive it after dark now. And there are no other modes of transportation other than hitchhiking. So it's up to us to get people there. Round trip buses are planned to be available next summer for the Stars of Tomorrow concert and for 2 performances of each of the next season's 3 operas. Wagner's Flying Dutchman, Janicek's Cunning Little Vixen, and Stravinsky's The Rik's Progress. In total, we want to offer buses to 7 performances in total during the 25 season. And we hope that COTA can help us make those shuttle buses possible for fans to travel from Ames and Des Moines to enjoy the music. Thank you. Any questions?
Well, in terms of ridership, would there be a make or break point in terms of numbers that would make that bus transportation feasible? In other words, if you didn't have enough riders to help offset the costs that you would have to incur other than what the grant would provide?
I don't really know the answer to that question. I think once we commit to it, though, and people have bought their tickets ahead of time, we'll know. And once they bought their tickets, I think we're committed.
So they don't pay anything extra to use the bus, other than the ticket to the performance?
They have to buy their tickets too, yes.
The ticket for the bus?
We buy bus tickets, we each pay $15 each day.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
That's
they
part of
need
your
2
commitment.
tickets.
okay.
And I would say that the Ames ridership is probably about 2/3 of the ridership on the bus. There are maybe half dozen people from Des Moines and more like 15 or 20 from Ames.
Oh.
We've ridden it ourselves a couple of times and just to see what it was like, and the buses were pretty much full. So we think it's a good thing to do.
Sounds like a rowdy bunch.
We're hardly rowdy anymore.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was okay. Do we have the Desi Drama Association? Okay.
Hi, good evening. I'm Anand from the Ames Desi Drama Association. And first off, I want to thank COTA for really taking care of us. You know, our organization is just shy of 2 years old now, and it's all volunteer based. And the reason, like, I'm really grateful to be here is Jeremy from the organization actually reached out to us. He was like, "Hey, you guys are still applying, right? Like don't miss out on the deadline. So the city's really looking after us. So that's a really great relationship we've got. So for what it is that we do is, we put on plays, but the difference between us and the Story County Theater or the actors is it's very focused on Indian theater. And more often than not, we're like doing humorous plays, which are really family friendly, right? Like, and the other difference that I would say in comparison to Story County Theater is we're actually kind of focused on middle-aged people like myself to do this. People like me are looking for some kind of community, some kind of hobby, to do. And so this is proving really effective at that, especially during the winter seasons when we're doing rehearsals, etc. So we've done 3 plays so far in the short span of 2 years, and the last play that we did earlier this year, we had around 250 people in the crowd for like the Indian play, and we were pretty psyched because we had people coming from Des Moines, etc., to actually watch the play. And the way we've been kind of making it accessible to people, so even within Indian languages, we've got like 34 different languages. So this play tends to be in one language. So it's not like all the Indians automatically understand the play by default, right? So to attract all Indians, so to speak, but to attract other folks as well, the thing that we've been doing somewhat pretty effectively is we have subtitles for our live play. And initially, we were kind of skeptical if it's going to work, but it seems to be working. People really dig it, and they are showing up. So that's one kind of innovation that we've done. But the other things that we want to do, the way we are just a bunch of amateurs and hobbyists in a lot of ways, and we want to keep pushing a barrier. The one thing I don't know if there's anybody from Story County Theater. I watched a Cinderella play earlier this week, and those guys, gosh, the props that they have, and they've got live music going on in their plays, and that's kind of what we want to do in our next, plays. Where, if you guys are familiar with Bollywood at all, or Indian movies, it's it's always full of songs. So we kind of want to get that experience onto the play. So that's one thing we want to do, aside from getting more and more we are having more success getting people from Des Moines to participate with us, and one of the ways we've been doing that is getting people from Des Moines to actually act in the play. So we see it's almost like one person is bringing around 10 people with them to the halls to watch the play in a lot of ways. That's the correlation over there. And so we're starting to build those relationships, and there's a lot of, and as people are kind of seeing our success, they want to participate now more and more. So those are the things we want to do, for the ask is for around $6,000, and that'll be plenty for us to put together a really awesome sauce play for the Ames community. And that's our pitch.
All right.
Well, you've definitely hit a niche in here, because well, both on Netflix and I've seen on the Cinema Arts that, you mentioned the Bollywood, the Indian films basically seem to be a rising, just a rising thing that people are more and more watching, which is nice. So it's good to see that. I was going somewhere with that. Oh, yes, marketing. Have you considered, I don't know how much marketing you do, but have you considered reaching out to the local cinemas as possible, since that seems to be?
We have not, actually. We haven't reached out to the local cinemas by any means. The way we've been getting the word out is pretty, we put all the flyers and all that. We've got our website, stuff like that, social media. And then Craig from the Ames City Hall really helps us out and puts us on the event calendar. But we are happy to try all that. We want to partner with Story County Theater. We need to do a better job of that, and probably the schools and stuff like that. So we'll definitely, we'll take all the ideas we can get. The dream is to get 1,000 people sitting in an auditorium for one of these plays.
Great. Well, congratulations, because I remember when you guys first came in, and I was very intrigued when you said it would be in the native language and talking about subtitles, and it really worked. And I'm glad to see you guys are still around
Yeah,
growing. So it's nice to see that.
Yeah, it's pleasantly been like a great ride, and there's demand from both sides of the house, in the sense, like I mentioned, like, you know, when I say that, what I mean is the people who are participating, they are like the two of us, like me and Balaji, who's not here today. We kind of like are producers, so to speak, right, in some ways. And they are reaching out to us asking, okay, when is this next play happening? Do not forget me for the audition. Like, we haven't even started it. Like, we worked on a script. So there's demand from that, because I think they remember from last year, like, this really got a lot of people through the winter, right? And on the other side, people are asking, like, there's a guy, like, I got a text message from my buddy Pella, and he's like, okay, when's the next play? Like, you know, they're really looking forward to it, because there's nothing like it in Iowa or even in Des Moines. And not just because it's not just the Indian folks who are showing up, right? There's just nothing like it. Like, so people, and we tend to put really family-oriented, lighthearted plays, targeting like seniors as well as middle-aged folks, etc. So, to your point, yeah, it seems like there is that niche. We've locked into it in a lot of ways. So it's proving to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. Well, we're 15 minutes ahead, and we have Iowa Youth Ballet, which I'm pretty sure is not you. So obviously we can give them a little time since we're ahead.
Can we skip ahead in the agenda?
Yeah.
I think we certainly
Take care
can.
of that.
We'll put a pause as we wait for the Iowa Youth Ballet, and we can discuss the spring special project grants. We have those, looks like. And I've not heard from anyone else, you know, from either Jaime or Krista about theirs. So as it stands right now, we have Dance Center Dancer Company Foundation. The average came out to $996. Good Company is currently $972. Des Moines Metro Opera is $996. Story Theater Company also $996. And the India Cultural Association came in at $356, which put us $87 shy of the total money available. So did we want to adjust anything? Did we want to try and incorporate that 87 in some way? Or are we good with how it stands right now?
I think we can probably use that to round up to nice even numbers.
Yeah, there.
Well, like in terms of the requested, you know, there's what, $4 shy of the dance center, you know, for the Good Company, what, $3 shy, you know. I don't know if that'd amount to $87, however, so.
We're looking at 3, 7,
In terms of what they asked.
10, yeah.
you know, requested.
11, 15. Yeah, for those, that's $15 if we round up to what they.
You've got $74 left.
$74 left.
There's large dispersion on the last.
There is.
Yeah, there is. I guess my concern with this particular thing was it's in terms of we're arts and they're sports.
Right.
And
with a cultural component.
it's
right.
We
I
did
mean,
discuss that.
culture, yeah, culture can encompass a lot of things.
That was the argument.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, I mean, you're right. When we first just saw it, it was like they were wanting to hold sports events. So yeah, we did have that.
So that was my concern.
Yeah. And it was, and I knew you weren't, and I don't know if you got a chance to watch the video or not from last month's, but it was about, it was sports related, game related activities, but from various cultures in villages, I think they were saying different villages. So it kind of I don't know if it's technically arts, but it's definitely culture. So I think that was where kind of some of the, and clearly we were all seemed to be on a similar page where, we were kind of mixed on that respect.
Yeah, I guess my concern would be maybe, setting a precedent in terms of other groups or, for other like sporting events or, it just kind of,
Right.
where is their definition?
Yeah.
Yes. So,
Yeah. I mean, we're commissioned on the arts, not,
Yeah.
sports. And I understand that. Yeah. Honestly, that is why we asked that question. I think we were all of the
So I'm
similar
sorry
mind.
I missed that.
Oh, no. That's fine. But yeah, it was a conversation point because I think we were all thinking the same thing. But you said, what'd you say, Brian? 75, 74?
74.
74? So I guess if we rounded everybody back up to, since they were within $5 each roughly, to bring the first four up to their requested.
If we want to bring the Indian Cultural Association up to 430, with no money on the table, and we can consider this an experiment,
True.
right? They will report on the event. We can ask them at that point how it went. Maybe even one of us could go.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
It does sound fun, but yeah, there's that question of how much of arts does it qualify. So, I'm good with that. So we make a motion to add the remaining 74. Well, the full motion would be to round up the first four to their requested dollar amounts, and then the remaining $74 to be added to the India Cultural Association, and to bring us to getting it all out there. All right.
Yep. And the board memory should persist to the point where after the event has been held, we can see how it went.
Right.
I guess I just have to add, if I were to second that, maybe add reservation regarding sporting versus arts
Right.
as a condition.
Agreed. Yeah, I think that's when that's fair. Yeah.
Asterisk.
Yeah, asterisk. We'll do it. We'll review it. We'll go forward from there. Okay, so I have a motion from Steve to round up and add the 74 then to India Cultural. I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? We have one opposed. I think that's a new one. So I guess we passed 2-1.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what that is.
We have a quorum.
Yeah.
We passed 2-1.
I think the vote reflects the reservations.
I think so.
Yeah, I just, want to be fair.
Oh, no, I totally agree. And we were thinking, like I said, we were thinking very similar last month when it was brought to us. But I think, yeah, I agree with Steve. When we read the reports on it, then we can reserve the judgment. Do we feel it qualifies as art?
Yeah,
at
like
that point?
fulfills our mission
Right.
as, helping to build that.
Right. And I think it may, to be honest, when I was looking at this the other day, I think if they requested 1,000 and they're getting 430, I think that may also,
It's a
in a
statement.
way, it may, it'll send a message to them to, I guess, drive our questioning home a little more solid.
I do want to say for the record, even though there's nobody here, that people thanking us is actually people thanking the city of Ames and city taxpayers and the CODA program.
That's true.
It is, every single one.
It's an awesome program.
Yeah.
Ames is, I haven't lived in many towns, but this has been one of the most amazing things I've seen living in Ames is the support for the arts
Yeah.
and the care with which the money for the arts is spent.
Yeah, we take care of the taxpayer, but then we want to support arts and make us more of a draw as far as from outlying areas even, it sounds like.
Right. And I'm honestly hearing, I mean, it was brought up from a couple of different groups at least, saying that the post-COVID numbers are returning. And the fact that several groups have mentioned growth in their membership and their numbers and volunteers. And that's really nice to see as well, to see that life starting to come back again. And newer. I mean, I remember when they first came in, it was experimental, the Indian Society, and I'm really glad that it's going as well as it has been for them. It's nice to see something fresh and different.
Yes.
Not to go against Story County Theater or actors, the long-term groups, but variety is always fun.
Oh, yeah. It's fun to go by the cricket fields on a weekend and see
I
the,
usually stop on my way to the farmer's market.
it's so
and watch them.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. They look like they're having a great time.
So Iowa Youth Ballet is all we have left.
Yeah, we're excited.
Okay. Technically.
6:45 was their time. Technically about 3 or 4 minutes ahead of when they would be.
If you'd like, we can take a recess.
Why don't we take a recess? I
Anybody want a glass of water?
call a quick recess until our final group arrives. Yes, and we are back in session.
I've never done this before, so tell me what I need to do.
Okay. Well, basically at this point, introduce yourself, introduce your group,
Okay.
and then discuss to us a little. We've had a chance to look. Tell us
Yeah.
what brings you
So
here.
my name is Lisa Davis, and I am the president of Iowa Youth Ballet. And I'm here because we have applied for a grant to help us with our annual Nutcracker Ballet. So I'm not sure what else to tell you. Our grant person is the one that usually comes.
Fair enough.
I can answer any questions. We serve, we have 200 in the cast. We have dancers from all over, not just, here in Ames. We have dancers that travel from all over, central Iowa to participate in it. It's put on, by Iowa State, but we have been contracted by Iowa State as Iowa Youth Ballet, to provide the instructors and the volunteers and pretty much do all the work to put it on. So this is just to help us pay for our staff and some of the things that aren't covered by what Iowa State pays us. So.
And this is the only thing that Iowa Youth Ballet does during the year? Is this your
No, we
major
have
project?
classes, and then they participate in conjunction with Robert Thomas during their recitals. We tried to do a free day of dance last summer, and only one girl signed up. So I know, and we spent hours and hours and hours. We had designed T-shirts. We had hired, arranged for different dance instructors from different dance schools, not just from Robert Thomas, because it's Iowa Youth Ballet. So, the surrounding areas, we had contacted different dance schools, and we were going to provide 3 hours in the morning for I think it was K through 5th or 6th grade. And then in the afternoon, we were going to provide 3 hours for high school age, middle school and high school age kids. And we had actually reserved the city auditorium where we were going to have a performance that evening where they could wear their T-shirts and perform for their families. And we only had one person sign up. So that was very disappointing. It is something that we have talked about doing in the future, but we just offered that one individual free classes if she was interested, since we weren't holding it. We were trying to reach students that maybe can't afford it or couldn't, normally do it. And so we were, trying to put it out there to everyone, not just schools, but different, like Boys and Girls Club, things like that, to just encourage those kids that don't normally get the opportunity to come and, learn some basic, because we had 4 sections of dance that we were going to provide. We were going to provide, just some basic ballet. We were going to provide some, we weren't going to do tap because of course they're not going to have tap shoes, but some lyrical jazz and maybe some Irish, soft shoe Irish. So we were really excited about it.
Yeah.
Like I said, we spent a lot of time putting it together. We were very disappointed that we didn't get more of a, anyway. So yeah, we look at doing things like that. We didn't do it this last year, but something we've done in the past is had a workshop for dancers that want to participate in the Nutcracker to come and learn some of the steps before auditions. Iowa State didn't want us to do it this year because they were afraid that if we did that, even if we didn't have it at, we were going to have it at a neutral location, even if we didn't, where was I going with that? I just got done teaching, so I apologize. My brain is still a little. Anyway, they were concerned that if people weren't able to come to the workshop, then they would be afraid to try out because they would feel like they, were behind. And so we didn't do it this year, but that is something we've done in the past. And we've talked about ways that we could do it in the future, just to, again, provide more opportunities for people. So.
Certainly.
But we've done different programs in the summer, and we've been trying to get back. I think everybody is trying to get back after COVID. So,
Agreed.
Yep.
Anything else?
Just a comment.
Sure.
One of my daughters danced in Nutcracker for many years here. She's now living in New York City and goes to the Nutcracker every year there.
Yes. Well, and that's
It's had a huge impact on.
Oh, I'm so glad. It moves. I'm so glad to hear that. And that's what we hear from people, that even if their kids don't go on to dance professionally, the opportunity, we try to make it as professional, as possible. And that's why so many people come to ours, even people that live in Des Moines, where I believe they have 3 of their own Nutcrackers. They come here because we bring in professional dancers, for the Sugar Plum Fairy and the Cavalier. And we've been really lucky to have people some that have come from here, and have gone on to dance professionally and now are back. We had one Sugar Plum Fairy that actually saves her point shoes. And then whoever gets the part of Clara, she would give, when she would come and perform here, she would give one of her point shoes to whoever was Clara that year. And they've been very approachable, which is really neat for the kids to be able to, interact with these people that are professionals and then be able to watch them and be in a performance with them. And like you said, it's something that's kind of a tradition. I mean, a lot of people, their families go every year. That kind of kicks off their Christmas season. And I've been doing the backstage, in addition to my part that I do with Iowa Youth Ballet. I've been the backstage coordinator for over 20 years. So I started doing it when my kids were younger, and they're all gone now, but I love doing it. So I'm still doing it. So
Excellent.
yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. And sorry I was
Nope.
running yours.
It's all right.
All righty. Thank you.
Glad
Thank
you
you.
could make it.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Final piece for the evening. There will be no December meeting. And then our next meeting will be January 6th of the 2025 year.
Yeah.
Congratulations. We're making it to the end of another one.
just realized I may be out of town.
On January?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so we will,
I will check and
yep, we
make
will,
arrangements if necessary.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We've got 2 months. So unless we have anything else, I will call the meeting to a close.